A cold front arriving today with thunderstorms in the forecast. Who could be dealing with some severe storms tonight? Let's talk about it in this Wednesday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. Good morning. It's Wednesday, the 30th of October, 2024. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Bully-in-Chief David Reimer. We are expecting a active stretch of weather to begin today with the possibility of isolated isolated scattered light showers across the eastern half of the state this afternoon, this morning, giving way to thunderstorm chances tonight into Thursday morning as a cold front moves southeast. And we're still going to be dealing with wildfire issues today. Now, we've done pretty well the last couple of days across Texas, at least compared to places like Oklahoma. Parts of central, northern, northeastern Oklahoma had a wildfire outbreak yesterday. Humidity values there were about 40%, which isn't super low, but wind gusts up to 50 miles an hour with drought-cured fuels allowed for multiple ignitions, and those were impactful. Hopefully for us, we'll continue to have good initial attack opportunities in Texas, and we won't have to deal with any sort of significant wildland-urban interface issues today. Nevertheless, very high wildfire danger forecast across the northwestern half of the state. Even high fire danger, Texoma, central Texas, the Brazos Valley, and that's even with some morning light showers, sprinkles possible. It's going to be windy. Now, as we go into Thursday and especially Friday onward, we're going to see wildfire issues diminish as we switch back into a wet pattern and start to knock out some of the flash drought we've had to endure over the last 6 weeks. Let's take a look at the severe weather outlook for tonight into Thursday morning. Now, the way it looks right now, a cold front is going to make its way across the northwestern third of Texas this morning, this afternoon. We're going to remain capped ahead of that cold front through most of the day. By a cap, I mean a lid on the atmosphere, a temperature inversion aloft that prevents a surface parcel, air essentially, from breaching or rising above a certain elevation altitude, which means essentially we're not going to have to deal with rowdy thunderstorms most of the day. That may change tonight as the upper level storm system responsible for, our wind really approaches and helps to cool temperatures aloft, allowing for that atmospheric lid inversion cap to go away. And with that, we expect scattered thunderstorms to unzip from north to south along the leading edge of the cold front in portions of Texoma, North Texas tonight, maybe even back into the eastern Concho Valley Hill Country Thursday morning. Plenty of instability, wind shear in place to support the possibility of more organized thunderstorms, multi-cells, even transient supercells, meaning some storms may become severe with the potential of pocket change size hail, dime, nickel, quarters, maybe $half size hail. It's about 1 inch in diameter. The threat of localized damaging wind gusts over 55 to 65 miles an hour. And the tornado threat is very low to low. It is not completely zero. We are going to have a decent amount of low-level spin available for thunderstorms tonight. So if we end up with any discrete, semi-discrete storms, or we have some sort of mesoscale accident, the potential will exist that we could deal with a quick tornado or two. The higher threat for tornadoes appears to be across portions of Oklahoma into southern Kansas late this afternoon and into tonight, but we can't completely rule it out here in Texas. The overall threat, though, is very low to low, with the highest relative threat right along the Red River. Looking at mostly an overnight event, it looks like. Storms early end, 7 to 8 p.m., but it may not be until 9, 10, 11 p.m. We see initial thunderstorm development on the leading edge of the cold front, northwest Texas, moving southeast into Texoma, North Texas, central Texas, the Hill Country, Thursday morning, eventually into the Arklatex, northeast Texas by sunrise, if not a few hours before Thursday morning. Not all storms are going to be severe, but some will have strong wind gusts, bit of hail, Can't completely rule out a spin-up tornado, a lot of lightning, locally heavy rainfall. Let's take a look at the high-res rapid refresh model for today, tonight, into Thursday, and you'll be able to see that, yeah, we are expecting scattered showers, maybe even a few storms, eastern half of the state this morning, this afternoon. And then as we get into tonight, cold front moving southeast into Texoma, North Texas. Thunderstorms develop along the leading edge late this evening, early Thursday morning. Those move southeast across Texoma, North Texas, including DFW, Northeast Texas, the Arklatex, even down into perhaps portions of central Texas. As we get into Thursday morning, early Thursday afternoon, we are expecting scattered thunderstorms to develop across really the Brazos Valley, East Texas, Southeast Texas, the coastal plains, as y'all will remain in a warm, unstable environment with moisture in place. Notice the squall line tonight really doesn't, it's not one of these long-lived, super-duper scary events like a derecho type event, but it will persist for a few hours with some storms being stronger before weakening probably a couple hours before sunrise Thursday morning. We'll be here keeping an eye on things, and we'll have updates throughout the day. As we go into tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, Halloween, the 31st of October, again, the potential for isolated scattered storms, coastal Bend, coastal plains, southeast Texas, Golden Triangle, Brazos Valley, East Texas, for all intent and purposes, the southeastern third of the state, and that is where we could have some precipitation cause disruptions to outdoor events tomorrow evening. The northwestern 2/3 to 75% of Texas looking dry with hazardous weather not likely. So outdoor plans will be a-okay. It'll be cooler, but it's not going to be 20 degrees and it's not going to be 100 degrees. So we're not doing one of those Halloweens this year where it's brutally cold with 50-mile-an-hour north winds. So we head through Thursday night to Friday, longer range American weather model, the global forecast system. Here is Friday. You can see scattered showers and thunderstorms back into the northwestern 2/3 of Texas. So our quiet stretch of weather for the northwestern 2/3 of Texas will be limited to Thursday. As we go through Saturday, more thunderstorms possible, especially northwestern half of the state. We could see some heavy rain, and then those chances could persist for some folks in Texas into the weekend Sunday. We're going to have a lot of cloud cover across most of Texas. It's going to be more humid, cooler, but humid. And then as we go into Monday and Tuesday, a cold front / dry line will slowly move from west to east across the state, bringing the opportunity for thunderstorms. Monday afternoon this has it through Tuesday afternoon, the eastern half of the state, a very slow-moving cluster of showers and storms. Some of these storms could be on the strong side. We'll need to see just how the ingredients come together. And this is going to be caused by a very slow-moving upper-level storm system digging in over the southwestern United States. What may happen here is that storm system may become detached from the jet stream and become what we call a cutoff low. If that happens, those can kind of sit in the same area for a few days, and it makes trying to pinpoint specific time elements pretty difficult, even in the short range. So this could shift somewhat as we get closer to next week, but the clear indication is we will remain in a precipitous pattern. Boy, there was a word. As we go into next week, the first week of November, which is good. And with it, some cooler temperatures on the way next week. The cold front next week looking stronger than this one over the next few days, though we'll still have cooler temperatures. All right, here's forecast rain total 7 a.m. today through 7 a.m. Monday, the 4th of November. So again, this is before the round of storms next week. This is just for stuff essentially today, tonight, Thursday, and then the Friday, Saturday, Sunday activity. Expecting let's just say 1 to 2.5 inches of rain. Golden Triangle, Southeast Texas. Pretty good swath of 1/4 to 1/2 inch rain totals, eastern half of the state. Today, tonight, tomorrow. So we go into Friday, especially Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That is when we're going to see the heavier rains in the northwestern portions of the state. Panhandle, West Texas, Texoma, northwest Texas, North Texas, possibly, even into parts of the big country, the Concho Valley, the Permian Basin, we could see 1 to 3 inches of rain. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, spread out over multiple rounds. That being said, someone could easily pick up, 2 to 3 inches of rain in a few hours, but for most folks, we're talking about multiple rounds of moderate rainfall. So, yeah, that would be quite beneficial. And, yeah, we could have some localized flooding issues, but it's drier than a popcorn fart, so we're not expecting significant river flooding. The lakes need the water. We're good in that realm. It's just how quickly our soil's going to saturate. And I mean, if we can spread this out over a few days, we're going to be in good shape. If we end up with someone getting 3 inches of rain in an hour, it's going to cause some flooding until it manages to run off. So we'll keep an eye on that. And additional rain is expected next week across the state. So expect to add on to these rain totals. All right, here's the forecast high temperatures next several days across the state. You can see cool front already impacting the Panhandle, West Texas. Highs in the 60s, 70s there today. 70 in El Paso this afternoon out in the borderland. That'll be nice. Eastern two-thirds of the state, highs in the 80s to low 90s, mid-90s, down into the Edwards Plateau, Rio Grande Plains. Tomorrow, highs dropping off. 60s Panhandle, 70s northwestern half of the state into Texoma, northeast Texas, east Texas, even down into parts of the hill country, the Concho Valley. We're expecting 80s. Brazos Valley, southeast Texas, coastal plains, Golden Triangle, coastal Bend, back into south Texas. Low to mid 90s, Rio Grande Plains, down into the Edwards Plateau. Friday's afternoon temperature forecast, 70s to 80s across most of the state. Same thing for Saturday, a few 90s back into South Texas, the Edwards Plateau, Rio Grande Plains, and then a bit warmer on Sunday across the southeastern half of the state with 80s returning, some 90s in South Texas, and that'll then lead us into a active weather pattern with another cold front arriving Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. Here's the Climate Prediction Center temperature outlook for next week, the first week in November. You can see that pattern shift occurring, starting to shift the higher than average temperatures off into the eastern half of the United States, which is, I guess, mostly been going on recently. Cooler weather out west. Hopefully we can bring that into the state with time, and then a good probability of precipitation next week. So we're facing above average confidence in a precipitous weather pattern as we go through at least the first half of next week. Hopefully we can keep it going past that. So, here you go. Today, really the last day of quietish weather before we become more active tonight, with the risk of severe storms for some folks. But I also want to emphasize this does not look like one of these big-time severe weather outbreaks. We deal with severe weather threats in the fall and winter here in the state. Most of the time, they're not big. Some of the time, they're quite big. This does not look like one of these big, scary, super-duper uh-oh spaghetti-o moments where I'm going to be screaming out spinny, spinny, doom warnings all day and night. But we may have some issues, and some folks will need to keep an eye on the sky. So we'll be here for that. We're going to have storm chasers out and about today across parts of Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas. And if needed, we'll have live severe weather coverage from yours truly tonight. You can always watch the live Texas Weather Center YouTube stream. Just search for Texas Weather Center. We've got a 24/7 live stream running. That'll pop up weather warnings, give you the latest radars, etc. And of course, we'll be here if something goes haywire. Otherwise, you can get your local weather forecast, interactive weather radar, and more. The free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app. Just search for Texas Storm Chasers where you download apps for your device. And of course, we'd appreciate if you head on over to our website, texasstormchasers.com. We've got radar there. And of course, we're on YouTube. Search for Texas Weather Center for your daily Texas weather forecast. If you want to watch the storm chasing side of the show, just search for Texas Storm Chasers. We'll be back bright and early Thursday morning with your next regular Texas weather roundup, but you'll probably be seeing more of us later this afternoon and tonight with more frequent weather updates. Until then, y'all have a great Wednesday. We'll talk to you later. God bless.